The American dream of homeownership is facing its greatest crisis since the 2008 financial crisis. Monthly payments on median-priced homes have skyrocketed by more than 50% compared to 2021, forcing many potential buyers to the sidelines and creating ripple effects throughout the entire housing ecosystem. What we're witnessing in 2024 isn't just another market cycle, it's a fundamental transformation of the nation's housing landscape. Today's analysis will take you deep into the 10 states experienced the most dramatic market shifts, with insights that could save buyers and investors hundreds of thousands of dollars in the years ahead. Number 1. Florida. Florida's real estate market tells a particularly compelling story of multiple challenges converging to create a perfect storm. The insurance crisis lies at the heart of Florida's housing troubles, with unprecedented changes reshaping the market. Consider Citizens Property Insurance, the state's insurer of last resort, which has experienced an extraordinary surge from 500,000 policies in 2019 to over 1.4 million in 2024. This dramatic increase reflects a deeper crisis: the mass exodus of private insurers from the Florida market. The situation became even more dire when major carriers like Farmers Insurance completely withdrew from the state, while others canceled over 400,000 policies in just 18 months, leaving homeowners scrambling for coverage at dramatically higher rates. In Miami, where prices have plunged 12.4%, the situation has become particularly acute. Insurance premiums have tripled since 2021, creating an untenable situation for many homeowners. The market faces additional pressure from a dramatic decline in foreign buyer activity, which has plummeted 63% following new ownership restrictions. Property tax reassessments have delivered shocking increases to newer homeowners, while condo association fees have surged 25 to 40% in response to new safety requirements implemented after the tragic Surfside collapse. High-rise buildings over 30 years old now face special assessment costs averaging $80,000 per unit for structural repairs, creating further downward pressure on prices. Orlando's 5.6% decline reflects its own unique challenges, intertwined with the broader Florida story. Disney's ongoing political challenges with the state have created uncertainty in the market, while a glut of short-term rentals floods the market as tourism patterns shift post-pandemic. Major insurance carriers have begun refusing to write new policies in certain zip codes, effectively redlining entire neighborhoods. Property tax increases averaging 18% in prime areas have further compressed affordability, pushing many potential buyers out of the market entirely. The Tampa-St. Petersburg region's 5.5% decline stems from a complex interplay of environmental and financial factors. New FEMA flood maps have reclassified thousands of properties into higher-risk categories, triggering insurance premium increases of 200 to 400% in flood zones. The market faces additional pressure from aggressive new construction that has outpaced population growth by a ratio of 3 to 1. Investor-owned properties are increasingly flooding the market as carrying costs become unsustainable, creating a surplus of inventory that continues to drive prices lower. Number 2. Texas. Austin's dramatic 6.6% decline reflects the unraveling of what many considered an unstoppable tech boom. The city's transformation from a quirky state capital to a major tech hub brought unprecedented growth, but that same tech connection now drives its market correction. Meta's decision to reduce its office space by 60% sent shockwaves through the local real estate market, while Google's delayed campus expansion and Tesla's hiring slowdown have directly impacted surrounding neighborhoods. The exodus of over 25,000 tech workers since 2022 has left a noticeable void in the housing market, particularly in the luxury segment. Adding to these pressures, property taxes have surged by an average of 12% in 2023, while new construction permits have plummeted 45% year over year. The market faces additional strain from investor-owned properties, which now represent 28% of current inventory. Rental rates have declined 8%, pushing many investment properties into negative cash flow territory and forcing investors to consider selling at reduced prices. The new construction sector tells an equally concerning story, with major builders like D.R. Horton facing unprecedented inventory challenges. In what would have been unthinkable just 18 months ago, D.R. Horton and other major builders are now offering aggressive incentives to move their growing inventory. These incentives include substantial price reductions of up to $50,000, rate buyouts to as low as 5.5%, and in some cases, covering closing costs up to $10,000. The desperation to move inventory has led to some builders offering bonus commissions to buyer agents and implementing quick move-in specials with additional price reductions for homes that can close within 30 days. The surplus of new construction is particularly evident in the suburbs of Round Rock, Pflugerville, and Georgetown, where entire communities sit partially completed. Builder inventory in these areas has swelled to over 8 months of supply, far above the 2 to 3 months considered healthy. Many building sites that were once bustling with activity have slowed to a crawl, with some phases of development completely paused. The situation has become so dire that some builders are converting planned-for-sale communities into rental developments, hoping to wait out the market downturn. Number 3. Nevada. Las Vegas tells a story of environmental challenges colliding with economic realities, resulting in a 7.2% price decline. The water crisis at Lake Mead has reached historic proportions, fundamentally altering the development landscape. New construction permits have been slashed by 60% in water-restricted areas, while water rights costs for developers have increased tenfold. These environmental constraints have added significant costs to new home construction, with xeriscaping requirements alone adding $15,000 to $30,000 to each new home. The gaming industry's revenue volatility has created employment uncertainty, while the remote work trend has reduced the influx of California buyers who once flocked to the desert oasis. The market faces additional pressure from investor properties, which account for 35% of current listings, while rental rates have dropped 12% year over year, forcing many investors to consider exiting the market. Number 4. Arizona. Phoenix's substantial 8.1% decline reflects the convergence of environmental challenges and market oversaturation. The region's water table depletion has cast a shadow over future development potential, while new water use restrictions impact construction timelines and costs. The urban heat island effect has triggered a subtle but significant suburban flight, as residents seek relief from rising summer temperatures and escalating energy costs. The market faces particular pressure from investor saturation, with a staggering 42% of 2021-22 purchases made by investors rather than homeowners. This investor-heavy market now grapples with new construction oversupply in key corridors, while tech company expansion delays and the exodus of remote workers returning to offices in other states have reduced demand significantly. Number 5. Colorado. Denver's 6% decline tells a story of economic transformation and affordability challenges. The city's tech sector layoffs have particularly impacted the high-end market, while the slowdown in remote work migration has reduced the influx of out-of-state buyers who drove prices higher during the pandemic. Rising property taxes in prime areas have compressed affordability further, while competition from mountain towns has affected urban demand. The affordability crisis has reached new heights, with the median home price to median income ratio reaching historic levels. Property tax increases averaging 15% have added to the burden, while insurance costs continue to rise due to wildfire risks. New construction costs have surged 28% due to persistent labor shortages, further complicating the market's recovery prospects. Please take 2 seconds to help me out and hit the like and subscribe if you find this video interesting so far. Each like and subscribe helps support this channel and keeps us motivated to keep making you great content. Thank you. Now, let's continue. Number 6. Tennessee. Nashville's 5.4% price decline reflects the challenges of managing explosive growth and market saturation. The city's short-term rental market has become particularly problematic, with licenses increasing 200% since 2021, creating an oversupply that's affecting both the rental and sales markets. New construction has concentrated heavily in the luxury segment, creating an imbalance in available inventory, just as corporate relocations have begun to slow. The entertainment industry's restructuring has added another layer of uncertainty to the local economy. Infrastructure struggles to keep pace with growth, while property tax reassessments have shocked many homeowners. Rising insurance costs due to tornado risks have further impacted affordability, leading to an investor exodus from the short-term rental market that's flooding certain neighborhoods with inventory. Number 7. Ohio. Cincinnati's dramatic 9.5% decline illustrates the challenges facing traditional industrial cities in transition. Manufacturing job losses have disproportionately affected key suburbs, while corporate headquarters relocations have reshaped employment patterns through the region. The first-time buyer affordability crisis has become particularly acute, while suburban office vacancy rates have begun to affect residential demand in surrounding areas. Property tax increases in prime areas have added to the affordability challenge, while the aging housing stock requires significant updates that many builders are reluctant to undertake. New construction costs have surged 35%, making new homes increasingly unattainable for many buyers. Investor activity has plummeted 65% year over year, removing a significant source of market support. Number 8. Missouri. Kansas City's 8.4% decline reflects broader economic shifts affecting Midwestern markets. Corporate downsizing has particularly impacted office corridors, while the remote work trend has reduced demand for downtown properties. Infrastructure challenges in growth areas have complicated development plans, while rising property taxes continue to affect affordability across all price points. The market faces particular pressure from new construction oversupply in prime suburbs, while investor activity has dropped 55%. The rental market's softening has forced many landlords to consider selling, adding to inventory levels just as first-time buyer affordability challenges have reduced demand. Number 9. Louisiana. New Orleans presents a unique case study in environmental and economic challenges, driving a 7.8% price decline. The insurance crisis stemming from hurricane risk has reached critical levels, while new flood map reclassifications have fundamentally altered the market landscape. Coastal erosion concerns have begun to affect buyer confidence, particularly in historic areas where aging infrastructure issues compound the challenges. The tourism industry's ongoing volatility has impacted the local economy, while fluctuations in port activity and energy sector employment have created additional uncertainty. The high cost of maintaining historic district properties have forced some owners to sell, particularly as insurance and maintenance costs continue to rise. Number 10. Mississippi. Mississippi's Gulf Coast region has seen a 6.9% decline, driven by a complex mix of environmental and economic factors. Insurance costs have skyrocketed by 300% since 2021, fundamentally altering the cost of equation for many homeowners and buyers. Coastal development restrictions and heightened storm risks have affected buyer confidence, while new building code requirements have increased construction and renovation costs significantly. The region's heavy dependence on the gaming industry and tourism sector has created economic vulnerabilities, while limited economic diversification has made recovery more challenging. Infrastructure challenges continue to affect development potential, particularly in areas requiring significant upgrades to aging systems. As we navigate these challenging markets, investors must fundamentally rethink their traditional approaches. The days of simply buying property and waiting for appreciation have given way to a more nuanced investment landscape. Successful investors are now conducting deeper analysis that account for rapidly changing insurance costs, extended vacancy periods, and the reality of slower appreciation in many markets. We're witnessing a strategic shift as sophisticated investors target value-added opportunities in stable submarkets, where property improvements can create equity regardless of market conditions. Many are turning their attention to commercial properties in growth corridors, recognizing that employment centers tend to maintain stability even in declining markets. The distressed asset market has become particularly attractive to well-capitalized investors who can acquire properties with significant equity cushions, providing protection against further market declines. Multifamily properties near major employment centers have emerged as a favorite among institutional investors, offering both stable cash flow and natural hedges against inflation. Mixed-use developments in revitalization zones are drawing increased attention, as these areas often receive government support and infrastructure investment that can help maintain value even in challenging markets. For home buyers, today's market presents both unprecedented opportunities and significant risks that require careful consideration. The complex decision-making process extends far beyond simple price comparisons. Smart buyers are conducting thorough research into insurance availability and costs in their target markets, recognizing that insurance challenges can quickly turn an affordable property into a financial burden. They're examining employment diversity in potential locations, understanding that areas dependent on single industries face greater risks during economic downturns. Infrastructure investment plans have become crucial considerations as they often signal an area's long-term growth potential and governmental commitment to community development. Climate risk assessments have moved to the forefront of buyer considerations, particularly in coastal and drought-prone areas where environmental challenges can significantly impact property values and insurance costs. Long-term population growth projections have become essential data points for buyers planning to hold properties for extended periods, as demographic trends often drive future price appreciation and community development. The question of market timing deserves special attention in today's environment. While many buyers and investors attempt to call the bottom of the market, history has shown this to be an almost impossible task. Instead, successful market participants focus on fundamental factors within their control. Personal financial readiness stands as the cornerstone of any property purchase decision, ensuring buyers can weather market fluctuations and unexpected expenses. The potential for long-term holding becomes crucial in declining markets, as longer holding periods historically help smooth out market volatility and price fluctuations. Local market fundamentals remain essential considerations, encompassing everything from school quality to crime rates and economic development plans. Insurance and maintenance costs require particular attention in today's market, as these expenses have shown dramatic increases in many areas and can significantly impact the total cost of ownership. Employment stability in the target market rounds out the critical factors, as job growth and economic diversity often provide the foundation for real estate market stability and eventual recovery. As we've seen, these market shifts create both risks and opportunities. For weekly updates on these changing markets, hit subscribe and the notification bell. Drop a comment below with your local market experiences. We'd love to hear your perspective on these dramatic changes. Watch this video as well.